I would like to talk about the theme concerning winning in Buddhism. What does that mean? And for me, it's happiness. Yeah, it's very interesting. We don't talk about competition in the, winning over somebody or against somebody to compete. It's more a question of internal spiritual challenge in life and in individual. And why I'm talking about the happiness and this kind of a internal struggle or challenge is because I have inherent in me, in every human being, we call it Buddha nature or Buddhahood, a state of life where we really have a deep understanding about the true nature of life. Well, that means that we can, without delusion, see how things are, how the phenomena in life really is. And the opposite we also have inherent is called fundamental darkness. Well, what does that mean? That's something when we usually look at the life, we have it in a true cloud, I could say, something that we don't really be able to see what life is about. And when we have Buddha nature activated in our lives through the practice that we do, that means that we can see how life is interconnected with everything. It's about wholeness. It's about every life has connection to the other lives. It's not about separation or division that fundamental darkness wants us to see life. It is either me or the other person or us or those people. We see how life in itself is an expression of through phenomena that we call life. And why we want to sort of strengthen our Buddha nature and get through that manifested in our lives is because we can have wisdom, courage, compassion, and life force, that we all have this huge potential in our lives inherent. And when we have this manifested in our lives, we know how to act appropriate way in every situation. No matter what the challenge is, it can be external or internal challenge, difficulty, problem, what we call it, we can understand that we can transform that. And that inner resolve makes a difference in our lives. And that means it's a win-win situation for myself and others. Many times when we have a difficulty or a problem, it's not about the problem. It is because we are hopeless. We don't know what to do with it. And when we don't know what to do with it, we become, of course, unhappy. It's more or less to know that there's a solution. So in a Buddhist way, I can say there is hope in life. It's not wishful thinking. It is really the inner resolve to know that I have this wonderful enlightened nature in me that I can really manifest and activate in my life. So that's what I would like to say, that winning means really winning over that fundamental darkness which is in my life. And the transformation in me makes the transformation also in my surroundings. It's happiness for myself and others. I call it a celebration about life. I think it's a very sort of not just, that we say think positively. It has something to do with this kind of life force that we can draw from ourselves, and we know that it's everywhere in this life and in every human being. And that makes us also appreciate everybody in this self, because we are the same in this sense. So it's a question of spiritual battle in me when I can say I can either let the fundamental darkness rule, or I can know that I can manifest my Buddha nature, my enlightened energy or enlightened nature in my life. I've had a very strong experience about when we call the winning in Buddhism, about this concept. A friend of mine who got cancer second time 2002, and because of that very serious disease, of course, and she got frightened, she started to practice. And I have to say I'm honored that I had the trip with her to go through this long process. She died 2011, so she was alive 9 years. And through these years, I have to say, there were great moments. There was the disease was sort of going back and backwards, and then we had the moments when, of course, the disease was taking over. And the process, when we all die one day, that's for sure, is of course a fact. She changed her life in a way that even when she died, we knew that it was coming. She wasn't afraid of the death, and it was not anymore about the death. It was about life. And I have to say that it was for me such a revelation to really understand that to be together with somebody and knowing that life is about life, even we die and death is part of it. But because of the deep understanding about the nature of life and about the moment, that no matter how long we live, we are living in the moment and we can make the best out of it so that we really can create the most positive value. And even she was sick and even she was weak and all that, it didn't, defeat her, which was unbelievable to see. When she died, she had 2 children, young adults, and I can see that, of course, there was sorrow. We were all sad. But it wasn't sort of a dead end. It was not, some kind of a crash, down that everybody would be sort of defeated in this sense. We could celebrate life. We could celebrate her life, and we could celebrate life in general, which means that these 2 children knew that if they live fully their lives, they are going to make their mother happy. And it was an unbelievable experience. I'm so happy that I was able to, and she allowed me to be there with all the sort of more critical moments and then all the good moments, and we knew that this was not depending on if she was going to, be free of the disease or not to die that moment or to die. It was something much deeper and much more, I would say, a celebration of life. It was wonderful. And I'm grateful to her, and I'm very grateful to the practice, what we did and what I'm doing. Thank you very much.